This beef went further, ladies and gentlemen. Drake and his people, his lawyers, went to the extent of what he did at the Super Bowl was way bigger. And him looking at the camera like, hey, Drake, that was intense. This was her representing where she's from, Compton, on the debate on whether this was the best Super Bowl performance in the history of the world. Honestly, since I follow this beef so closely, man, all right, we are back, and yeah, some stuff happened this weekend. Did you guys check out the Super Bowl? Let's talk about it. Halftime show, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. Now, some people talking about this was the greatest ever of all halftime shows, and this was the worst ever of all halftime shows. And then there's a camp of people who are saying, what are you guys talking about? So, elephant in the room, right? Drake, Kendrick Lamar, the biggest beef we've ever had in the history of music, period. We had Tupac, we had Biggie, we had Hit 'Em Up, we had No Vaseline, Ice Cube, NWA, you know, we had that going, but social media cranked this thing up to a level that's never been seen before in the history of mankind. And I'm not exaggerating. We had a back-to-back of tracks between the biggest artists in the world, Drake being the most known artist that there is. He had the perfect adversary, K-Dot, Kung Fu Kenny, Kendrick Lamar. Now, bottom line, when it was all said and done, the large majority of people could really agree and appreciate that, you know what, as far as a hip-hop battle goes, Kendrick Lamar pretty much won that thing. Yeah, come on, guys. You know, and you can say that and not hate Drake. You know what I mean? But in case you had some speculations, in case you were not sure, in case you just didn't really buy it, this beef went further, ladies and gentlemen. It went beyond wax. It went beyond tracks, bar for bar. It then spilled over to lawsuits. Now, guys, if Drake won the battle, I don't think there'd be any lawsuits. All right? If the jabs weren't so personal and didn't resound so heavily with the ether, I don't think there's going to be a lawsuit. But we got a lawsuit. All right? That being the case, people didn't know what to do. You know? And as it went further, the biggest payday that YouTube Reactors that I missed out on, all the money that I missed out on because I wasn't reacting when the stuff came out. A lot of YouTubers became reactors, and a lot of reactors make a lot of money because of that beef. It was such amazing content. I was watching it closely, but I wasn't putting it on camera. It is believed, it is said, that beef was responsible for making a lot of people, you know, retire. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but you know, yeah, they made a lot of money. Now, Drake and his people, his lawyers, went to the extent of calling out Reactors, No Life Shaq, Screwface Gene, and many others, the black ones. I guess it's Not Like Us. And they were called out as part of the lawsuit, you know, so it went that deep. And you know what? Reactors reacted to that stuff, and they also made some more money from that without any music playing, which was even better for YouTube content. And I couldn't really do any of that either. So I didn't make money there either. Okay, but the point is, okay, money was made, diss tracks were reacted to, camps were split, people didn't know who it is who really won this beef. And then the Super Bowl happens, okay? In the midst of all this Not Like Us lawsuit, Drake literally being called a PDF and A minor being no longer just a musical thing, Superbowl shows up and they offer Kendrick Lamar the biggest platform he's ever been on, ever. And everyone was wondering, was he gonna do Not Like Us? Right? Now let's get to the Super Bowl. This man, because he's literally going through a lawsuit with Drake and his camp, him doing Not Like Us, that mega hit song, was not very likely. In the midst of that, just in between him being announced as the one who's going to be highlighting the Super Bowl halftime hour, he also released an album called GNX, which was kind of like a follow-up, which is insane content. He released GNX, which is a whole album, which kind of felt like a continuation from Not Like Us, with new tracks and new content, which kind of felt like it was just wrapping up this whole catalog of music that stemmed from the beef and this beautiful GNX album that got created. And in the Super Bowl halftime hour, we got some of those songs, brand new songs, at the halftime hour. Now, on the debate on whether this was the best Super Bowl performance in the history of the world, in the history of the Super Bowl, if you were not following the beef as closely as a lot of people were online, you might say it wasn't great. You might say there were more famous songs that could have been played. You might say that. But then, if you followed the beef closely and you realize the core issues of what Kendrick Lamar was literally touching on, about the touching on of underagers, you come to the realization that, what he did at the Super Bowl was way bigger than his career. And I gotta say, my reaction is coming up for the Super Bowl halftime, and you gotta check it out. But I definitely got some Tupac energy when I was watching that performance. Now, you might say his West Coast vibe, but nah, it's in the activist attributes that existed in Tupac. The stuff that really made him timeless. The stuff that made him this larger than life personality. He only died at 23, by the way, and we're talking about him now. It's crazy. But I got that energy seeing Kendrick Lamar on stage and him looking at the camera like, hey, Drake. That was intense. What's even crazier is before he did that performance, he goes out and he says, they like to sue, bruh. If he did multiple interviews before this performance, and not once did he bring this up. But this time, this man, on the largest stage of them all, he decided, you know what? I'm going to address this. And he did it on stage, man, on the largest stage of them all. Now, was it appropriate? Man, bottom line is that this song is literally the biggest thing. See the streams, man. See the numbers, man. All right? People wanted that song, and he did that song, man. And there was a resounding echo in the crowd, A minor. When that spot came, and boom, for me, that was not the nail in the coffin. That was the cremation of the coffin. That was like, is there a question on whether I won the beef? 100%. No more questions. None. Oh, not only that, Serena Williams, performing, crip walking, doing her thing. Now, some people are saying, it's not, she's a married woman. Is this a dig at Drake because he's the ex? I think that just kind of, if you listen to the beef, Kendrick Lamar mentioned Serena Williams in the beef. He mentioned it. I'll play the snippet right now so you should hear it.
From Alondra down to Central, nigga better not speak on Serena.
And she's a Compton native. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think this was even about him being the ex at all. That might be a glaring thing that kind of pops out, but bottom line, this was her representing where she's from, Compton, just like Kendrick Lamar himself is from Compton, So, man, I just had to address that. I had to talk on it. I don't know what your thoughts are. I love the Super Bowl halftime shows. Bruno Mars did an amazing job. Lenny Kravitz, of course, Michael Jackson, of course, Prince. Those are all super crazy iconic. Of course, Usher was amazing. Honestly, since I follow this beef so closely, man, that stuff was amazing. It was amazing. It gave me goosebumps. All right, it gave me goosebumps. It was amazing. I loved it, and maybe that's because I'm a hip hop head, But then I think the storyline is spectacular. The storyline is gonna last forever. This storyline is gonna be, man, there's gonna be a movie about this years down the line. So yeah, man. So for me, I think that performance was phenomenal, spectacular. Got some new bars. Samuel L. Jackson, playing his character in Django, dressed up as Uncle Sam. That was just epic, phenomenal. Added a new angle to it. And I got some new respect for SZA. I did the reaction to the GNX album. You could check that out too. But when I saw her on stage performing live, bro, that girl can sing. So I got a newfound respect for SZA as well. So all in all, man, as far as the Super Bowl halftime goes for me, I enjoyed it, bruh. So yeah, man, so that's my reaction. That's my take. Comment. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you subbing. Let me know if you want more content like this. Of course I'm going to do more content like this. All right, man. Let's freaking go.